Good morning.
I am looking for the senior lines odds maker, Phill Gray.
Well, Mike Richards and David Basco.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice to talk to you. I was just listening in. Let's just talk hockey nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because, I'm a little bit older than David. I know it doesn't look like it, but I had Cooperalls back in the day.
Oh, you did? You had Cooperalls.
I had Cooperalls. You know what we called underneath? It was called the girdle.
Yes, that's right. He's absolutely right. You put on the girdle and you put on the slacks, the Phill Gray slacks.
That's right.
There you go.
I bet you Sash looks good in those, though. She's probably the only one that does. Your sister, Sasha Gray.
She's coming to town for St. Patrick's Day because you know, Mike, she likes to dress up. So
yeah. Well, I'm saying those Cooperalls
party,
those Cooperalls didn't stay on very long. Yeah. Well, hey,
it's in the Gray bloodlines.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of. Now, look, we're talking about hockey here today, and we talked about the value that still sits out there in terms of the money coming from Sports Interaction that they are going to match up to $200. So you're going to throw in $200. And I'm looking at some of the hockey lines here today, young Phill, and I'm looking at Vancouver and the Vegas Golden Knights, the puck line. So -1.5 is $220. I think that's great value because I think the Golden Knights fill in Vancouver tonight.
We think that's great value too, and that's why we're hanging it for our customers. And we had we're having a really great conversation between some of the traders here the other day, and you guys were talking totals and how long is it going to be before we see a 7 on the boards at Don Best for some of the NHL games? Because I think it's coming. Maybe the next season or two.
Yeah. Hey, Phill, so before we get more NHL, let's go back to what happened today. And we saw Germany upset Canada, which must have been massive because I'm guessing you guys took a lot of Canada money. Is this true, or am I just blowing this out of my you-know-what?
Well, I'm probably going to be, a Twitter enemy number one and get a whole bunch of new followers and haters, but it's always good for us when both the men and the women lose, isn't it? So, yeah, we held a considerable stake. And I was surprised, actually, with a lot of the action this year on the Olympic hockey minus the NHL players because Ilya Kovalchuk is not an NHL player, so we took some great money on that, and we held a lot for sure.
Yeah, big time. Okay, so do we have a number for OAR versus Germany in the gold medal game, or is that yet to be determined? Because I'm guessing this could be as much as far as the puck line, maybe even Russia 2.5 goals, or is that just going to stay at the traditional 1.5?
No, you'd probably be bang on there. I would say probably 2.5. And the money line, again, going to be off the board probably for quite a while, probably minus 1,000. I don't see that being a close game. I think Russia's going to clean their clock.
Exactly.
Now, in terms of Olympic action, you're talking about, obviously here in Canada where you see the men's and women's team. But what was was there anything surprising in terms of the action that you saw? What people were actually betting on? Because was it curling? Was it like what exactly are we seeing from Sports Interaction? You think that was a little surprising to you, or something that you thought, there's value in this sport?
For sure in the curling, and again, it was a boon for us with Canada going off. But we take a lot of money on curling with the Brier and the Tim Hortons and that. So that's one of the more popular ones. But Olympics for us is kind of a niche sport, and with the time difference in that, it's hard to keep everything updated. But for sure, a lot of the alpine skiing and that took some really good money.
So we're talking about some of the movers and the shakers today in terms of the lines. What do you see today? Is there anything that you particularly like for the Raw Mike Richards Army?
Absolutely, we got some Mike movers for you. So we're going to go to junior hoops. Harvard and Princeton. That game is flipped. The money's on Princeton now. So. If you want to get in on that, it's there, and as well as the total on that, trending way to the over. It's at 131 right now. Number 16, Ohio State in Indiana, right?
Yep.
The money's coming on the under there, Mike. So hit the under on 137. I know you like Manhattan and Iona. Look at that, the total jumped all the way up to 144 now. That opened at 141, so get on the over there. Central Michigan, Toledo. That's coming in. That's another one of the televised games, and all the money's on Toledo at 7.5. So that's probably going to get to 8, maybe even 9 by tip-off.
Well, something that we talked about, Drexel coming back last night from 34 points down, the greatest comeback in Div 1 history, which is crazy. But the one league, so on Friday, because very often I will play on the Fridays. That's how we've done it in the past because Saturday's so busy, but we obviously can't see those lines. The eggheads that play on Friday night in the Ivy League drive me nuts.
For sure. You see some of the totals. I'm looking at Dayton in Rhode Island right now. That opened at 148 on the total. It's down to 144 right now.
And look, I don't mind playing those schools, but when I got to play Ivy League, it's very frustrating. Because Harvard and Princeton, honestly, are you going to the game with the patches on your elbows and smoking a pipe? I mean, honestly, I can never figure out these teams at times because they're I don't like them. I'm not an Ivy League guy. I don't like betting on that stuff. I really don't. There was actually a cheer that they did in football, and I think it's Harvard. I could be wrong, but it was one of the Ivy League schools, and they got scored on a lot. So one of their cheers was, "It's all right. It's okay. You'll be working for us one day." It's a true cheer. I don't know which school does it, but the sad thing, it probably is true.
Yeah, it probably is true.
Dave, you got anything else to throw in here?
You know what? As far as action from this weekend, we talk about junior hoops. We talked about NHL, Olympics wrap up. What else is on the docket as far as popularity? Is it NBA? Is it the PGA Tour stop? I believe it's the Honda Classic. I'm trying to remember. What's kind of next of priority at Sports Interaction?
Well, for sure, tomorrow is going to be a huge college hoops for us today. Again, we're getting it towards the end of the season, and Saturdays are just massive. You got, upwards of 90 games on the board. Yeah. On the Classic, Tiger's going to be in the mix for sure. And I know George Russick from Sportsnet is going to love this. We've got exhibition baseball across the board.
Oh God!
Hey. Every day now. There's a dozen games every day. There's split squads. There's a lot of value there, Mike. You gotta get in there.
Yeah, because the pitching, I think for the Pirates is like Russell Graham.
Yeah.
So might take the over. That's hard. Do you see a lot of action on like Cactus League, Grapefruit League, baseball? Are people is that heavy wagering? Because I think you really have a problem if you're betting on the split squad when they're playing like a girls' university or whatever. Like I see these weird games. Do people actually put a lot of money on this?
Well, for sure. We're a recreational gambling site. Everybody knows that. Everybody likes to get a couple of bucks down, and maybe watch the Jays playing the Phillies today. It's at 105. And the Jays are a slight fave, so maybe there's a little bit of value on the Phillies today in Dunedin, right?
Well, what's really strange, too, that the fact that you say that, and I realize, of course, in my head, what's the first voice I hear? Well, hello, friends.
Yeah, Jerry.
And now gone. Wow.
Yep.
That is going to be very jolting, I think, for Blue Jay fans.
Different listening pattern this year.
For sure it is.
Yep.
Hey, Phil, thanks so much for joining us here this morning. Always appreciate the time, pal.
Thanks,
we'll
buddy.
Talk to you again real soon.
You bet, guys. See you at Betty's next time.
Yeah, see, Phil gets in the bar reference. Didn't see that one coming at all.
No.
Oh, shocking.
What? We just become best friends? Yep.